Hi everyone, welcome back to my knitting podcast. This is the 7th episode of Sari Knits, and today I'm going to be making only a short video to tell you which projects I have on my needles and what else I've been up to lately. I will also tell you about my plans for Karen Templar's Summer of Basics make-along and talk a bit about test knitting. But let me start with the mystery project that I showed you at the end of last week's episode. I showed you the 3 different color mohair silk skeins I bought from Yarn Over Berlin on my trip to Berlin a few weeks ago. And I mentioned that in the next episode I would be showing you what I'm doing with them. So these were the colors, or 2 of them. There's also a 3rd color, which is this dark. And these are silky mohair lace from Snail Yarn. They are 72% kid mohair and 28% silk. And the colors are basalt, pebble, and paprika. And I've been mixing them with this. It's a huge cone. I know my husband, when he saw this, he was like, "What is that?" But it's a 500, it was a 500 gram cone of Holst Garn Super Soft, and the colorway is flannel gray. And this is like a 500 gram skein, which equals like 10 normal skeins of Holst Garn Super Soft, and it's cheaper to buy it in this bigger cone. And also I like working with this as there will be no yarn ends to weave in, or there will be at the beginning and end of the work, of course, but not in the middle of the project. Let me show you what I've been making with these. It's here. This is a simple raglan sweater, a little bit of fade. So here at the top I used the Holst Garn together with the darkest color, which was this basalt. Here in the middle is the Holst Garn together with the pebble colorway, and in the bottom with the paprika, the lovely copper color. And I really love how these colors go together and blend together. So this is a top down. I started here at the top and worked my way down until I separated the sleeves, so there's a raglan construction, and then until the bottom hem. And then I picked up stitches along the neckline, and now I'm making the collar. The next step will be to knit the sleeves here, and they will have the same color fade effect as the body. So this is what I've been mainly working on lately. I really love this project, especially since it's almost purely just stockinette stitch in the round, so it's quite mindless, but the color changes keep it interesting enough. So I really like working with this, and I'm waiting to get the sleeves done so I can wear this. Even though it's mohair, it's really light and really warm, so I think it won't get that much use during the summer. Maybe during those coldish summer nights, but probably this will be my wardrobe basic during the fall. So this is what I've been mainly working on lately. It's lovely project. I'm really into it. But as it's really big and this cone is too big to take away with me when I go somewhere else, like park with my son, so I have to have some smaller projects as well. And also in the Berlin episode, so the episode number 6, I showed you what I bought from Wollem Berlin, and I bought the Linomuka linen skeins here. So I've been making a lightweight summer top with them. And this is how far I've come with this project. So this is going to be a lightweight t-shirt, or I haven't yet decided if I will add sleeves. I will see it later on, but at the moment I'm planning short-sleeved lightweight summer top with a quite low V-neck. So that's my plan, and I'm absolutely in love with this color. It's super nice, and the yarn has an amazing sheen. And even though it's linen, it's surprisingly soft, and it's not, or the fabric drapes nicely, and I really like it. So I'm holding the yarn double to make the fabric a little bit thicker, and this is what I'm making. Another portable project I have is this yellow hat. This is a second sample of my Queen Bee hat I showed you in the last episode. This hat, so this is the finished version of the hat, and I'm now making a second sample to check all my notes and charts before the test knitting phase, and also I'm sending the other sample to Annabelle Williams, who I'm designing this for, so that she can take it with her to fairs, or like a sample to show her customers how the yarn is like, and also that she can promote the pattern as well, as it is for her. The pattern is for her. So this pattern will be available if you get her newsletter, and then it's for free as soon as I have finished writing the pattern. So this is called Queen Bee hat, and the yarn is Annabelle Williams organic Falkland Merino. It's DK weight, and this amazing colorway is called Yellow Submarine. It's an amazing shiny yellow yarn, and so this is the second sample, same hat. Here, this is what I've been working on mostly lately, and at this point I could talk a little bit about test knitting. You can see me wearing the Varma pullover, and I've been writing the pattern, and I'm hoping next week I'll have the pattern at so much ready that I can post a call for test knitters. And I've been thinking about the best way to reach you guys, or reach the ones of you that want to test knit for me. Until this point, I've always posted the call for test knitters on Instagram, but keeping track of everyone who wants to knit for me has been a bit challenging. So I was thinking about starting a newsletter, and so you could subscribe to my newsletter and get a notice every time I have something new available for test knitting. Or the other alternative I've been thinking about is starting a Ravelry group where I could post all the information about upcoming test knits. So I would like to have your opinion on these two alternatives, or maybe three. Is it best for me to write everything on Instagram, but there's always so little space to get everything in, so I would have to always write it somewhere else as well? Or is the newsletter best idea, or what do you think about the Ravelry group? Or maybe I could use all these three channels. But I would like to have your opinion about test knitting, because I will have 3 or maybe even 4 new calls for test knitters in the upcoming weeks. One of them is this queen bee hat. I would need a couple of test knitters for this one. The second one is this pink hat. This was the top-down hat I already showed you in the last episode, and I would like to publish the pattern, so I think I will need a couple of test knitters for this one as well. And of course, this pullover as well. There have been many of you who have already asked me about this pullover and the chance to test knit it for me. And yeah, it's coming. I hope it's coming next week, the call for test knitters. I mean, there's still some little issues that I have to calculate, like the neck for each size and also how much yarn each size requires. So as soon as I will have those finished, the pattern is ready for the test knitting phase. I'm a mother to a almost 3-year-old kid, and I work full-time, so I don't have that much time to write patterns. It's always in the evening, and lately the weather has been so good that we have spent a lot of time outside, and I have been knitting much less than I usually do. And also this time at work, I work in a museum, so we have to get all the summer exhibitions ready. So this is the busiest time of the year at my work as well, so I've been a bit swamped lately, and that's why I haven't had time to finish this pattern. But it's coming. I hope I get it ready next week. And the last thing I'm going to be talking about today is the Summer of Basics make along. And if you don't know what that means, let me just briefly tell you what the make along is all about. You might know Karen Templer from Fringe Supply and Fringe Association blog, and she started last year this Summer of Basics make along, which is intended for all knitters, crocheters, seamstress, everybody who wants to make their own clothes. And you're supposed to make 3 basic items for your wardrobe, but what those 3 basic items are, you can decide for yourself, whether they are clothes or shoes or socks or scarves or other garments. So you can decide the project yourself, and also you can pick your technique. So you can sew, you can crochet, you can knit, you can do all those things. And so the only guidelines are that you have 3 months for yourself to make those things. So it starts on 1st of June and runs until end of August. So 3 months and 3 garments. So that's the thing. Everything else you can decide for yourself what you want to do. So last year, when she hosted this make along the first time, I was determined to learn how to sew, but then I got lazy and I knitted all 3 projects. So I made a black Klein sweater, a white Good tee from Julie Hoover, which I was wearing in the previous episode number 6, the Berlin episode, and then a greenish ochre yellow scarf, silk scarf, also by Julie Hoover, which was my favorite during the winter. I used it almost daily. But this year I'm adamant to learn how to sew. It's been on my to-do list for such a long time, and I have bought this making magazine. This is number 4, the Lines episode, Lines issue, and I'm planning to make the Bixton oversized kimono jacket, which is this one. I've been adoring this ever since it came out, and I really want to learn how to sew just so I can make one of these for myself, as I can see how versatile it would be in my wardrobe, also for work in the winter time, and now during the summer it would be very easy to just throw on when I go to playground with my son, or to shop, or like every day, everywhere, with everything. So this is definitely something I'm going to be making this summer. I might need my mom's help for the sewing part, but that's what I'm going to do. And the second project I have picked is a black cardigan or black cardigan coat, because I have noticed that I don't have one such, and it's definitely something I need. So in my Ravelry queue I picked either the emboss cardigan coat from Shibui Knits or Corvid from Brooklyn Tweed, and the pattern is by Jared Flood. So those are my two alternatives for the black coat I'm going to make this summer. And I'm still debating on the third project. I'm going to make a sleeveless top, but if I'm going to sew it or knit it, I haven't decided yet. So I bought the workbook from Merchant at Mills a while ago, and there's the Bantam sleeveless top, which I was thinking about making. Or the other alternative is I have this gorgeous silk yarn from Knitting for Olive. See, this is their pure silk base, and the colorway is Kit. So I've been planning to make a sleeveless top using these ones. So those are my plans for the Summer of Basics make-along, and I think next Friday is the June 1st, so that's when I can start actually making these. I have one more thing I want to show you in this episode, and then that's everything I have for today. I was asked from Fiber Company if I wanted to be part of their beta knitting team, and of course I said yes. Last winter Brooklyn Tweed had a preview knitter program, and I was also part of that, and I think this beta knitting is quite similar to Brooklyn Tweed's preview knitting team. So it's not sample knitting or it's not test knitting, but we get the first chance to see their upcoming collection and pick our favorite and knit it before anyone else, so that we have our projects ready to show on the launch date of the collection. And the Fiber Company is going to have a new yarn base. It's called Lore, and I got the chance to work with it. This is the colorway Logical, and it is a beautiful natural off-white color. The feel of the yarn is quite airy and rustic, but it is at the same time really soft and not at all like prickish or ticklish. So it's very nice against the skin. And I'm not allowed to tell you exactly what I'm working on, what the pattern is I'm working on, or show you the whole pattern, but I can show you this little sample I've been making with it. So it's going to have this broken rib and this mock cable pattern. And I started the sample with size 4 needles as suggested in the pattern, but I soon realized that it is way too loose, so I changed to 3.5mm needles, and after the wet blocking I realized that even it is too loose, so I should reach a bit more tighter gauge. So I think I will have to make one more little swatch before starting and try how it will look with 3.25 millimeter needles. But this is going to be something I will have on my needles soon, and I will be showing you how it comes together. But I think that's everything I have for today, and I would like to hear about the test knitting alternatives. What do you think about the newsletter or the Ravelry group for it? And next week I'm going to Helsinki. Let's see if I have time to film some of my favorite places there. But I'm there on a business trip, so I might have a bit too tight schedule to actually go to any yarn stores or nice cafes. But if I have time, I will film some little bits for you to show in the next episode. Other than that, I think that's everything for today, and I hope you have enjoyed this episode. If you like my videos, please press the subscribe button under my video, and all the links to the blogs and patterns and yarns I was talking about in this episode you can find down there under this video. And also, if you have any questions to me, you can always comment in the comment section. I hope you will have a lovely day and see you again soon.